Welcome back to another episode of CEDH, where we have the pleasure to play with TOPCUT CEDH today.
Hey guys, I'm Nicholas from TOPCUT CEDH. We're a very young YouTube channel from Germany. We mostly post CEDH gameplay, but also like commander rankings, tournament reports and that kind of stuff. Our content is in German, but we do put a lot of effort into proper subtitles. So check us out, and now back to Schusta.
Before we jump into today's game, I have edited for like 8 or 9 hours at this time already. So if you want to support the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could support the channel with a thumbs up or a subscription. Anyways, with that, let's jump into today's games. On seed 1, we have me, Schusta, on Lumra, Belly of the Woods, aka Ruler of the Wild. Next, we have Schnico on Dihada, Band of Wolves, Dihada. Then we have Gitfrog on Inalla, Archmage Ritualist, Wizard Gang on Speed. And on seed 4, we have VintageBursche on Magda, Brazen Outlaw, aka Schmagda. Seeding order 7667. Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's normal. In every single game there's one guy that does that. Any pregame action, guys?
I'm too old for that crap.
No, I don't have a pregame.
Good luck, have fun. I'll take us off. Roll for turn. For us as land for turn, we start off with Chillimilly Root Maze.
I knew that was coming, dude.
Dihada plays a starting town for turn and passes. Inalla draws, plays a tapped Verdant Catacombs and also passes. Magda plays Caverns and passes. Untap upkeep drawed. Urza's Saga, which enters tapped. I'll just do the funny thing and also Dihada draws for turn, plays a tapped Scrubland into a tapped Mox Diamond. Then afterwards taps the starting turn for a tapped Soul Ring and passes the turn. Inalla draws for turn, casts Getaxin Probe targeting Lumra. This one,
Oh my god.
this one, this card. Then, sadly, has to pass, missing her land drop. Magda draws, plays a Cavern of Souls, and also has to pass the turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. We put Haemwood Battlegrounds tapped into play, and with another 6 cards in hand, I'll gladly pass the turn. Dihada untaps, upkeeps, draws to turn, plays a tapped Scalding Tarn, and because he has no other play, he casts Dihada, Binder of Wolves. Then he activates her and finds Lines of Diamond and Lightning Tutor, Abeyance and Talisman of Hierarchy, creating 4 tapped treasure tokens, so he has to pass the turn. In his end step, Inalla cracks her Verdant Catacombs to find a tapped Badlands. Then she draws for turn, casting a Gamble. We roll a 6 and Inalla has to discard a Final of Promise. Afterward, she plays a tapped Morphic Pool and then has to pass the turn. Magda untaps, upkeep, draws to turn, plays a Slam for turn, a tapped Hammerheim. He then casts Magda and taps her with Cavern to create a tapped treasure token and has to pass the turn. Untap, upkeep, draw a turn. We got an Urza's Saga trigger. I'd like to float 1 colorless mana, Amulet of Vigor. Then we get the EDP trigger, so Amulet of Vigor for whatever reason is now untapped as well. Land for turn, Windhook Tifa's land for turn, crack it, Snow Cold Forest, and let's just see what happens, I guess. Escape Shift on the stack.
I forgot about to lose a life from the starting turn last turn.
Lotus Field, City of Traders, and Ancient Tomb. We get 3 untapped triggers. Then we get the ETP trigger of Lotus Field. Tap my Mirror Pool for a colorless, tap this for 3 green, tap this for 2 colorless, and then with the ETP I'll sacrifice those 2 lands. And now, let's see what happens. Lumra on the stack.
Pass.
No way, it
fucking
resolves!
way.
I'm getting Force of Will here. ETP on the stack. Endurance, Snow Cold Forest, Average Spirit Guide, and Springard and Tuco. But I think we are still fine here. We have several untapped triggers. I think this enters with a lore counter. I get all those cards. We have an ETP effect on the stack with Lotus Field. I'll tap it for 3 green, sacrifice Haemwood of Battleground for another 2 green, so we're up to 5. Tap Urza's Saga for 1 colorless, so I'll sacrifice City of Traders plus Lotus Field. And then I'll pay 1 and 4, crack Mirror Pool, target Lumra.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an activation.
With that, I'd like to present a loop with Mirror Pool, City of Traders and Lotus Field to create infinite Lumras.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll now start to destroy all your lands with Wasteland, Strip Mine and Ghost Quarter. With Art, Archway and Boseiju who Endurance combo, I will bounce Boseiju to my hand to destroy all your artifacts, enchantments and planeswalkers. If you decide to get a land with that, I'll destroy them with Wasteland, Strip Mine and or Ghost Quarter again. Then I will present a Talongate's loop, phasing out all your
Oh
creatures.
no! The next card! No!
Then if you decide to float mana, which is not the case I think, I will just start to mill my entire library until I find Field after that. Then I will at one point find Echoing Deeps, which enters as a copy of Lotus Field, so I have 2 sacrifice triggers to present infinite 2/2 zombies. And then I can find Horizon of Progress, which says pay 1 mana, sacrifice a land, draw a card. Before I do that, I can present a loop of making my Shifting Woodlands into a Endurance, copy it with Mirror Pool. Before I do that, obviously I have to use Echoing Deeps to make a copy of Mirror Pool, so I have an additional Mirror Pool to shuffle all my stuff back into into my library, and then I will present a loop of endurancing my graveyard into my library until I manually can find with Horizon of Progress draw effect a Fan of Devastation, and with a Gas Cradle, which lets me make infinite mana technically with all the 2/2 zombies, I'll have infinitely big 2/2 zombies and an infinitely big Lumra with haste, and I'll hit you all to death. GG.
Jeez.
Holy shit. I always knew Root Maze is a really good card, but this just shows how good Lumra can be against a turbo pot if you know what you're doing and the cards play into your hand. Because the first game was pretty short, I think we got time for another one. But before we jump into that, please don't forget that we currently do a giveaway for this beautiful Vesuva signed not only by Gabor but also from Zoltan. As a Lumra player, you should be interested to have this card in your collection. So there is no entry fee, I will ship it worldwide no matter where you are living, and the only thing you have to do is join the Discord down below from Katabare and I, enter the giveaway, and when we hit 1000 subscribers we will do the giveaway, so one lucky person will be able to win this beautiful Vesuva card. Enough advertisement for me and the channel, plus Katabare. Let's jump into the second game. We have VintageBursche on Magda, Brazen Outlaw, aka Schmecta. On C2 we have once again Schnico on Dihada, Binder of Wills with Dihada. No change in the seeding order. Gitfrog on Inalla, Archmage, Ritualist. Wizard's Gang on Speed. And unfortunately our boy Schusta on Lumra, Belle of the Woods, aka Rule of the Wild on Seed 4. We got no pregame, Magda untaps, upkeeps, and Magda plays as land for turn a mount, taps it for a mana vault, and then passes the turn. Dihada plays a plateau and taps it for a Ragavan, then passes his turn. Inalla plays as land for turn a Misty Rainforest, cracks it, fetches for a Volcanic Island, and then casts a Strike Ridge, creating a treasure top. Afterwards he passes the turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Wooded Foothills, crack it for a Snow-Covered Forest. Tap it, we love to see it.
No way, dude.
This card
Jeez,
wasn't
bro.
even the reason why I kept it.
Did I told you that I fucking hate Root Maze?
I'm sorry guys.
I don't think you told him enough.
I fucking hate Root Maze.
Pass the turn. Magda untaps, upkeep, and draws. He casts a Mox Ember, then casts a Treasonous Ogre. He pays 6 life to cast Magda, another 12 life to cast a Jeska's Will, targeting Dihada for 6 and also exiles the top 3 cards of his library. He then casts a Lifecraft Engine, then he pays 1 to cast a Dwarven Armorer. Next he pays 3 life, uses the 2 remaining red, and casts a Ghostfire Slice, targeting Dihada's Ragavan. At the end, he plays a tapped mountain out of the exile and then has to pass the turn. Dihada untaps, upkeeps, and draws for turn, casts a tapped Lion's Diamond and Godless Shrine. He also passes the turn. Inalla untaps, upkeeps, and draws, plays as top deck as land for turn an Undercity Sewer, deciding to surveil the Blood Crypt he found on top of his library. Afterwards, he passes the turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Play as land for turn a tapped Buried Ruin. Tap my forest for a tapped Grafdigger's Cage.
Sure, dude.
Yeah, I think I don't care anymore, so do your thing.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
Yeah.
Pass the turn. Chooses end step, Magda taps her Magda and Dwarven Armorer into the Lifecraft Engine to create 2 tapped treasure tokens. And then he untaps, upkeeps, and draws and plays as land for turn a tapped Treasure Vault. He cruises Lifecraft Engine to create another tapped treasure token. Afterwards, he goes to combat and attacks Inalla with Lifecraft Engine for 4 damage. He then passes the turn. Dihada draws and casts a Cable Ritual. It resolves and goes straight into a Necropotence. Then he plays as land for turn Flooded Strand. Afterwards, he activates Necropotence 8 times. He then moves to end step, takes his neck cards, afterwards discards and exiles an Archivist of Ogma, Arid Mesa, Pyroblast, and a Bloodstained Mire. Inalla untaps, upkeeps, and draws. She casts a Mox Opal tap and does not shock in a Watery Grave. Afterwards, he taps out and casts a Spellseeker, finding a Chain of Vapor out of his library. Afterwards, with no other game actions, he has to pass the turn. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Let's get the game actions going, guys. This head is a dog shit, holy shit. 2 mana for a Lotus Cobra. Cry Misery, attempt to move to Manstone. I'm down to 5, I had to stop the game somehow, I'm sorry, okay? In Manstep, Magda uses Lifecraft Engine to tap Magda and create another tapped treasure token.
What did I hear? You're not gay?
What? Excuse me?
My girlfriend is brain damaged.
No, I'm not.
No, I said I had to slow the game down.
Ah, okay.
Go back watching TikTok, please.
Can you keep this in the video, please?
The people know it, don't worry.
What do the people know?
That you're a little bit brain damaged.
Okay.
Don't you remember the last 2 times you were at the intro of the video? Where you nearly hurt yourself 2 times? Niklas, feel free to continue your turn. Niklas untaps, upkeeps, and draws, gets 1 damage dealt by Mana Wall. He then crews the Lifecraft Engine, raiding another tapped treasure token. He moves to combat. He then attacks Dihada with Lifecraft Engine and Magda, triggering Magda 2 more times. Unfortunately, he doesn't count correct because Magda is currently a 3-1 and the Lifecraft Engine is a 5-5, so at 8 damage instead of 6 damage, which we thought at this point. With that, he passes the turn. Dihada untaps, upkeeps, and does not draw. He plays as land for turn a Cavern of Souls, naming humans. Then he taps for 2 and casts a Lofo Corrupt Sheriff. He activates Necropotence 5 times. Afterwards, he moves to his end step and discards into exile a Tataru, Badlands, and a Flame Scroll Silverbrand. Inalla untaps, upkeeps, looks at her hand, realizes she still can't do anything, plays a tapped command tower for turn, and then, unfortunately, has to pass the turn. Untap, upkeep, draw a turn. Pretty unlucky draws here. Exploration. I can't even hit anyone. Oh god, this game. I can't, man. I fucking can't. I'm so sorry. Attempting to move to my end step. In my end step, Magda exiles a Simian Spirit Guide for 1 red mana floating, and then cracks the treasure vault for 2 additional tapped treasure tokens. Magda untaps, upkeeps, and draws. Loses 1 life because of mana vault. Uses the Dwarven Armorer to crew his Lifecraft Engine. He then moves to combat and attacks once again Dihada Bind of Wolves with his Lifecraft Engine. In his end step, Dihada cracks Flooded Strand to find a tapped Scrubland. Dihada untaps, upkeeps, and doesn't draw for turn because of Necropotence. Dihada pays 3 life into Necropotence, exiling the top 3 cards of his library. Afterwards, he casts a Dark Ritual. Then he casts Besiege the Mirror, bargaining Necropotence as additional casting cost, triggering Lofo, creating a tapped treasure token. Besiege resolves, and he then casts out of exile an Opposition Agent. Magda activation onto the stack, searching for a tapped Maskwood Nexus. He then does another Magda activation and finds a Smuggler's Copter. With Opposition Agent still on the stack, Inalla then casts a Cutting the Weak, sacrificing his Spellseeker. Chain of Vapor targeting my Grafdig Escape, triggering Lofo, creating another tapped treasure token. In response to the Chain of Vapor, Magda crews his Lifecraft Engine, triggering Magda 2 times to create 2 tapped treasure tokens. Inalla then casts a Shallow Grave, targeting his Spellseeker in the graveyard. He now has the ETB of Spellseeker and Inalla. He resolves the ETB of Spellseeker and finds a Brain Freeze. Afterwards, he then resolves the triggered ability of Inalla. He then finds with the copy a Vampiric Tutor. And still in response of the Opposition Agent, casts Vampiric Tutor, loses to life, finds a card, puts it on top of his library. Dihada plays a tapped Mana Confluence as land for turn and then moves to his end step. In his end step, Necropotence, Inalla, and Shallow Grave trade, exiling the real Spellseeker, exiling the Inalla Spellseeker creature token, and Necropotence puts 3 cards into Dihada's hands, and with 7 cards in hand, he passes the turn. Inalla untaps, upkeeps, and draws a tapped Lion's Eye Diamond, and then for 2 mana casts an Annual Breach, triggering Lofo for a tapped treasure token for Dihada. Annual Breach resolves, and for 2 mana, Inalla casts a Brain Freeze with 2 copies on the stack. Dihada then an Orange Chant targeting Inalla. In response to that, Inalla cracks her Lion's Eye Diamond, discarding Necropotence into his graveyard, still holding priority onto the Orange Chant, casting a Chain of Vapor out of his graveyard, targeting with Chain of Vapor his own Annual Breach. Annual Breach gets bounced back to his hand, Orange Chant resolves, and afterwards Inalla mills herself for 9 cards with 3 Brain Freeze triggers on the stack. With that, Inalla sadly has to pass her turn. Upkeep, draw a turn. Bury the Ruin for a Grafdigger's Cage. Move to our end step here. Magda loses 1 life to Mana Vault. He drews his Smuggler's Cobbler with Dwarven Armorer, creating another tapped treasure token. He then goes to combat and attacks Dihada with his Smuggler's Copter, dealing him 5 damage and triggering his Smuggler's Copter to loot. Main phase 2, he then casts a tapped Tormod's Crypt and then passes his turn. Dihada untaps, upkeeps, and draws for turn. He taps 4 mana to cast a Dihada Bind of Wolves, also activating her, putting into graveyard a Fellwar Stone, Flicker, Demonic Council, and a Goblin Engineer, creating 4 tapped treasure tokens.
Niklas, are you playing an Honorable Breach in your deck or just asking for a friend? Pretty good friend.
Sadly, Magda does not play an Honorable Breach in his deck. With that, Dihada has no other game actions to take and has to pass this turn. Inalla untaps, upkeeps, and draws, looks at her hand, is still pretty upset about it, and then has to move to his end step. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. God fucking damn it. I think we start to accelerate the game a little bit. I'll attempt to bestow Lotus Cobra with my Spring at Natuko. I will play as Lamb for turn, Gemstone Caverns. Lotus Cobra trigger, I'll get a green mana, then we have a Spring at Natuko trigger. I'd like to create a beautiful insect creature token. Because I have Exploration in play, I'll play as second Lamb for turn, Yavimaya. I have a Lotus Cobra and Spring at Natuko trigger. I resolve the Lotus Cobra, and then I'll resolve this bring out the Tuku trigger to create a copy of my Lotus Cobra. We have so much fun. Let's go, guys. Move to my end step. In my end step, Magda taps for free and activates the Masquerade Nexus to create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token. He then untaps, upkeeps, draws for turn, loses 1 life to mana. He once again crews Smuggler's Copter, triggering Magda. He then moves to combat and attacks Dihada with his 5/4 Smuggler's Copter. Dihada responds on attack with a Swords to Plowshares, targeting the Smuggler's Copter, exiling it and giving Magda 5 life. Magda has no other game actions to take, so she sadly has to pass the turn. Dihada untaps, upkeeps and draws, activates the +2 ability of Dihada to make her Lofo indestructible, giving it Vigilance, Lifelink and indestructible until her next turn. He then taps for free and casts a Predator's Grasp targeting Inalla. He then casts out of the exile a Demonic Tutor and searching for a card of his library while having a Lofo trigger on the stack, losing 1 life and creating a tapped treasure. He didn't put it tapped into play, but it didn't matter. He then casts a Jeska's Will, realizing none of us has more than 2 cards in their hands, exiling a Lotus Petal, fetch land and another land. He then places land for turn a Command Tower, tapped, and a Lotus Petal, also tapped. He then casts a Ranger Captain of Eos on EDP, searches for an Esper Sentinel. He then casts an Esper Sentinel, which should enter tapped, but it didn't matter. He lets the mana fizzle and moves to his end step. Inalla untaps, upkeeps, draws for turn, is still pretty upset about the game state, plays a Scalding Tarn tapped, and then moves to his end step. Draw for turn. Okay, finally we are getting somewhere. 2 for Isle Explorer.
How many cards do you have in your graveyard?
I have a single Wooded Foothills in my graveyard. I'll play Wooded Foothills as land for turn. Trigger Isle, trigger 2 Lotus Cobras and trigger Springheart and Tuco. From the bottom to the top, Springheart, Lotus and Isle. Mill 1 card, Spelunking, of fucking course. 2 mana of Lotus Cobras and then Springheart and Tuco trigger. I will use the 2 mana floating to create another copy. Then I'll play the card I drew last turn. Zuranor. I will sacrifice Wooded Foothills to gain 2 life. Then as second land for turn, I will play Wooded Foothills. We do the triggers like before. Mill 1 card, Fabled Passage, 3 mana actually.
1/1 insect.
That's definitely correct. Thank you for calling my missed trigger out.
No, I got your back, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You hit me so I can block with Loto and get 2 more life.
Sure.
Still.
Correct Wooded Foothills for 2 life. And as third land for turn, we will get another Wooded Foothills. We have way more triggers. We mill for Millable Speaker, another untapper, potentially 6 mana and another insect. 6 mana, Lumra on the stack. Any responses to the cast? With Lumra's ETB on the stack, they talk about how they should potentially exile my graveyard or not, but then they realize they can't do that because if they do that, I can just let it resolve, use the Rune Orb to sacrifice some lands I have in play, and then do the thing I want to do anyways. ETB on the stack, fine to resolve. We get Mana Vault, Sanctum of Eternity, Forest, and Arrow Spirit, guys. We get a Forest, Sanctum of Eternity, Wooded Foothills, and a Fabled Passage back into play. We got 4 Springheart and Tuco triggers, 12 Lotus Cobra triggers, and 4 Isle Explorer triggers. So we mill 4 cards. It will be Summon Safekeeper, Endurance, Snow-Cold Forest, Horizon Explorer, so all the good stuff. Then we get 12 mana, and the other 2 will become insects. So we are down to 8 mana. Then we have those lands in play. For my next magic trick, I will pay 8 mana and put a Famished Bullseye onto the stack.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Come on, bro.
It is an as it enters, so I will remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lands. He will enter with 24 +1/+1 counters
And Lumra dies.
to state-based actions. With the Famished Bullseye ETB on the stack, they start politicking again if they should exile my graveyard. I for sure don't have that many utility lands right now in my graveyard, but they decide to do it because the only way at this point for them not to lose to me is if I don't hit anything relevant with the Famished Bullseye's ETB. We look at the top 24 cards of my library. Ancient Tomb, Mirror Pool, Snow-Cold Forest, Crumbling Vestige, Urza's Cave, Tabernacle, Havenwood Battlegrounds, Wasteland, Vesuva, Lasotep, Prismatic, Conduit Pylons, and Burning Catacombs. 13 triggers of Isle Explorer, Springheart and Tuco, and 39 Lotus Cobra triggers, holy shit. We have an As It Enters trigger here. I think it will enter as the Undercity Zero, so I have a Surveil trigger. This is an ETB trigger. We will put all the ETB triggers of the lands on top, and then we do Isle Explorer, Lotus Cobra triggers, and then a Springheart and Tuco. In response to the Undercity Zero's trigger, Dihada tries to politic with Magda to not clap his juicy ass cheeks if he can handle my Zuran Orb. Magda promises to not win on her turn. With that, Dihada channels a Touch of the Spirit Realm, touching my Zuran Orb. I'd like to respond to that. In response, I'll sacrifice all my lands. 13 lands, so it will be 26 life. Damn, I get to the funny number, no way. Vesuva, Undercity Sewer. We surveil 1. Sage who endures. Crumbling Vestige, I'll make a green mana. Conduit Pylons, I surveil again. It gets in the grave in the Mana Vault. Food Chain. 13 Isle Explorer triggers. Crop Rotation, Elvish Reclaimer, Field of the Dead, Lines of Diamond, Dihada Halfling, Badger Mole Cup, Vexing Bowl, Shifting Woodlands, Call of Calling, Blossoming Tortoise, 11 with Forest, 12 with Fiends and Zenith, and 13 with Collective. 39 Lotus Cobra triggers. Then we have Springer and TOPCUT triggers. We get 13 insects here. So we had 17 with Summoning Sickness and 1 that isn't. 8 mana to recast Lumra.
Pass on Lumra.
ETB on the stack. Rootbath Purifier, Misty Rainforest, Hickory Woodlot, and Nista Resurgent Animist. We get Hickory Woodlot, Misty Rainforest, Forest, Shifting Woodlands, Field of the Dead, Boseiju, Urza's Cave, Prismatic Wisdom, Catacombs, Lesotep Quarry Wasteland, Mirror Pool, Tabernacle, Ancient Tomb, Snowcall Forest, and Havenwood Battleground. So we have.
I also missed the Lothal trigger. Just.
Oh,
sorry.
feel free to make
so
it.
satisfied about your turn. Yeah, I will take it.
17. I'm sorry, this is getting now a little bit out of hand. We got 17 triggers from Isle Explorer, 17 Springer and TOPCUT, and 51 Lotus Cobra triggers. Plus, because Field of the Dead sees every land entering at the same time, we also got 17 Field of the Dead triggers. So we get 17 zombies into play. Then we have the 17 triggers of Isle Explorer, Fan of Devastation, Natural Order, Winds of Teeth, Gyreed Sanitarium, Scapeshift, Echoing Deeps, Grim Monolith, Snowcall Forest, Strip Mine, Ghost Quarter, Lotus Petal, Mox Diamond, Urza's Saga, Immersion Zone, Tiller Engine, Nature's Rhythm, and 6. Okay, what do I do? 51 Lotus Cobra triggers. I definitely have that many dice left here. 17 Springer and TOPCUT triggers. I'll make 12 Lotus Cobras. So we are at 16 Lotus Cobras here. 5 more triggers, I think. So we are at this amount. 4 mana. From 19 down to 15. Target my food chain in my graveyard to make a copy of it with Shifting Woodlands until end of turn.
I'll pay 3 here, back a treasure, put a Telling Gates in play, phase out Lumra.
I can just, in response to that, pay another 4 mana to target food chain again. It's now a food chain. Talon Gates on the stack. I'll exile Lumra for 7 creature mana. The line here is now a little bit cringe, I'd say, because I don't have an untap in play. I think I actually have to play it out here. I'm really sorry. Those stuff. Okay. Pit of Offerings, Cavern of Souls, this. 10 lands, we have several triggers, 10 new zombies. We get 160 mana because why the fuck not? 10 lands, we mill 10 cards. Here would Sunscorch just be really good. We have a Pit of Offerings. I'll exile your artifacted exiles cards out of the graveyards at Magda and the Brain Freeze from Inalla. And let's do the Chain of Vapor, I think. And Echoing Deeps will enter as a copy of Urza's Saga. I'll sacrifice Lumra and recast it. We mill 4 cards. There's the Talon Gates. Sadly, a little late. 8. Use Talon Gates ETB trigger to phase out Magda. And with Lotus Field, I'll sacrifice Vesuvius here. So we just let Lotus Field and Vesuva die. Exile this, return this. Vesuva enters as a copy of Pit of Offerings. I can sadly not present a win here, but what I can do is use Arid Archway to bounce my Boseiju back to my hand. And then with the ETB trigger of Talon Gate, sacrifice Lotus Fields and Arid Archway. Then I will use Boseiju to destroy all your non-basic lands, artifacts, enchantments. I can let Echoing Deeps enter as a copy of Pit of Offerings to exile all your graveyards. That's also another option. Please do that as well. I can't sadly do anything anymore here. Besides doing the thing I promised, I will use 1/1/1 to attack Schnitzel.
I will block and
Get
get
your
2
life,
life.
my man. Get your life. You deserve it. So the board state is I have way too much zombies, insects, and mana stuff. Okay, I'll move to my Magda untaps, upkeeps, and in his upkeep has to pay for 4 Tabernacle trade. He pays for 2 with his 2 mountains and pays 6 life to create 2 red with Treasonous Ogre to keep his other creatures in play. He will then move to combat and attack Inalla with his Magda, Dwarven Armorer, and his 2/2 Shapeshift, dealing a total of 7 damage, and also putting 3 triggered Magda Brazen Outlaws effects on the stack. Afterwards, he passes his turn. Dihada untaps, upkeeps, does not pay for the Tabernacle triggers, activates Dihada Band of Wood, and finds a Wheel of Fortune, which would be pretty funny against someone that has not a single card left in his library. He then sadly has to pass the turn with 4 tapped treasure tokens. Inalla untaps, upkeeps, does nothing in his turn, and moves to his end step. Untap, upkeep. I have a Tabernacle trigger. With priority, I'll tap Gascrail for way too much mana. Then I'll put a Shifting Woodlands activation on the stack, target my Amulet of Vigor.
Clearly ready to scoop you.
I will just present the loop as before. GG.
GG.
I'm so sorry guys. A major mistake happened in this video. While I was finished watching this video to see if I can upload it for YouTube, I realized when Magda exiled my graveyard with her artifact, there was endurance in it. So I wasn't able to actually present a win in instant speed here. I already talked to a judge about this and he told me if everyone agrees to scoop and lets me win, it still counts as a win. But for me personally, I feel pretty bad about now winning the game without even really deserving it, which feels pretty weird to me. So I'm really sorry for this incident to happen in this specific video, and hopefully this won't happen again. But at least there is now another reason to play Sunscorched Desert, I'd say. Thank you so much for joining us for today, TOPCUT CEDH. I really enjoyed playing with you guys. I'm also extremely sorry for the quality of today's video because OBS decided to do the funny. We already talked about it and we will do another video together where you can hear the beautiful voices where they hopefully get once again smacked by Root Maze. Please don't forget to join the giveaway for the signed Vesuva. And with that, I think we are already done for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please show your support. And with that, I'll wish you a wonderful remaining day and we'll see each other in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.